I tried beating Terraria's Homeward Journey mod. This is a fairly new and massive content mod that adds over 500 brand new items, post-Moonlord content, new classes, and a whopping 9 brand new bosses. Will I be able to defeat all of the bosses and end this Terraria journey? Well, let's find out. I spawned in a brand new world, and of course I went to go gather wood to make myself a bunch of houses. I wanted the NPCs to move in as fast as possible, as they will be very helpful throughout our playthrough. I went to explore the world to figure out where everything is, and upon traveling to the desert, I managed to die, which teleported me all the way back to spawn. I went to explore the jungle and I managed to find myself a spear, which was my weapon of choice for the time being, and then I went back to the jungle in order to explore. The jungle tends to have many more heart crystals than normal caverns, so if you want to get a head start in your Terraria playthrough, I'd recommend going to the jungle if you are prepared to fight the mobs and like dig your way out of there. But yeah, I mean, if you're prepared for that, then it's a fantastic place to get really overpowered loot for your stage of the game. I went to go build more houses, and then I continued work on the elevator. Throughout the time that I was making myself the elevator, I went to go mine in all the various different locations that I found. So there were just like a couple of caves that I managed to stumble upon, and I decided to just check them out. And then I died while fighting in the water, so that was loads of fun. I continued work on the elevator. I bought the bullet shell blaster and the shell 1 from the demolitionist. I also got myself the tungsten rapier, which was a part of the mod, and it was a melee weapon, so it could only really deal damage up close, and it kind of worked like a short sword, so it wasn't the best weapon that we had access to. But yeah, I got that, and then I went to explore for more hearts, as we literally only had like 6 hearts at this stage of the game. Essentially, for the next hour, I just continued exploring for life crystals and started getting lenses so I could summon in the Eye of Cthulhu. I found various biomes underground, so there were like a couple of cool generated structures, but for the most part everything was normal. They were just like those glowing biomes, you know, mushroom biomes. I managed to get myself to basically 3/4 of full HP, and as it was turning to nighttime, I decided to make myself an arena for the Eye of Cthulhu and for the next bosses to come. I managed to craft myself the summon for the eyeball, and once it turned to nighttime, I spawned in the Eye of Cthulhu and I managed to defeat it using the bullet shell blaster. This was just essentially a weapon that we got previously that shoots, well, rockets. It's kind of like a start game rocket launcher. It wasn't the best, but you know, it dealt range damage to the Eye of Cthulhu. It also damaged us, so it wasn't the best weapon of all time as well. But we did take out the boss, and then I bought the shells 2 from the demolitionist, which was a better type of ammo for the bullet shell blaster. And then I went over to the corruption to destroy 3 of the corruption orbs. We managed to summon in the Eater of World, and using the bullet shell blaster, we absolutely demolished the Eater of Worlds. I mean, the rockets were just absolutely overpowered for this boss, and it was no struggle whatsoever. We took it out in literally like 10 seconds. If it hadn't run away, it would have been even faster, but he was a little bit scary. Anyways, next we got invaded by a goblin army, so I had to go take care of that, and using the bullet shell blaster, we blasted through each and every single one of the goblins. This weapon is also great for crowd control, so I was fairly blessed in that sense. It didn't take too much effort to destroy all of the goblins, and after we took out the goblin army, a meteorite landed, and I went to go clear it out. Once I cleared out the meteor, I waited for it to turn to nighttime, as I was by the dungeon, and I summoned in Skeletron. We ended up killing Skeletron, as our weapons were fairly powerful, and then I tried to fish to summon a brand new boss called the Marquise Moon Squid, which I was unsuccessful in doing. But then after we took out Skeletron, I essentially just cleared through his dungeon a little bit, and then I began setting up for the Wall of Flesh. I made myself a massive arena and tried to farm out for Guide Voodoo Doll. I spent way too long trying to get myself a Guide Voodoo Doll. I literally just went to hell with this, quite literally. But once we got ourselves a Guide Voodoo Doll, I thought I was prepared, so I chucked it into the lava, and well, I guess the bullet shell blaster did not pull through for this boss fight, as we ended up dying with the Wall of Flesh having barely any HP left. I mean, like, this boss was super close to dying. I do not know how I died, but stuff happens, I guess. Anyways, I tried to get another voodoo doll, and then I went to go get full HP. This time we were prepared, and I was not going to go easy on the Wall of Flesh. I went down to the underworld, full meteorite armor, bullet shell blaster, and the shell number 2 ammo. We chucked the god voodoo doll into the lava, and this time we rapidly, repeatedly, horrifically, astronomically destroyed the wall of flesh, and we are now in hard mode. That is correct. Do you know what else is hard? I mean, goes hard. I mean, is amazing. The plushies. First link in the description if you want to support the channel. Be sure to check them out. But let's get back to the video. Anyways, I got myself a bunch of potions, and then I went back to health to get myself a Hellforge. Yeah, I didn't even have a Hellforge by this time, so I couldn't really mine any of the hard mode ores. Happens to the best of us, right? Drop a like on the video if you ever forgot to get a Hellforge. Anyways, I got some Hellstone, upgraded my pickaxe to get the Molten Pickaxe, then I destroyed some of the Demon Altars, and then I began to look for the hard mode ores to go through our pickaxe progression. We blessed our world with Palladium, Mithril, and Titanium, so I got myself a Palladium pickaxe, then I got myself the Mithril drill, got myself the Mithril pickaxe, and then I went to go try to grind out for Titanium. I also in this process got myself Palladium armor just to not die to every single mob that literally crossed our path, so that was quite helpful. And then I still continued the ore progression to get more adamantite. I went to the sky to start my never-ending journey of trying to get wings, so I farmed out some wyverns, and then I went searching for souls of light and night. I found the two various different evil biomes, grinded out a bunch of souls of light and night, and then I went back to the skylands to get more souls of light. I crafted myself a pair of angel wings, and then I got even more souls of light. How many souls of light does Boio need? Well, that's something I will never tell you. Anyways, I went over to the dungeon to get bones just so we could summon in Skeletron Prime. Still using the bullet shell blaster, we absolutely cleared out the entire, and I mean entire dungeon of skeletons, and as it turned to nighttime, I summoned the twins and managed to get absolutely obliterated by them. Clearly, the bullet shell blaster is not going to be our weapon of choice, and we have to heavily upgrade our gear. I went to collect money to buy more ammo for the bullet shell blaster, and then I went to go see who sells what. Essentially just went through all the NPCs, checked out if they sell anything new, and then I started to look for equipment upgrades because our equipment was atrocious. It was literally horrific. I mean, we were in hard mode and we had basically all pre-hard mode equipment, so how was I going to defeat any bosses with such an armory of greatness? I tried to refight the twins many times and I died just as often as I tried to fight them. I went to summon in the destroyer and I actually managed to kill the destroyer because of our crazy damage dealing weapon and the brand new shell ammo that we actually managed to get, which dealt far more damage than the second iteration of shells that we previously had in pre-hard mode. So yeah, we killed the destroyer and then I started to look for ways to win against the twins because we could not do anything. They were absolutely atrocious. I tend to fall victim to the twins a lot when I do these modded playthroughs. We had full titanium armor and I frankly had better accessories, but they still weren't the best. Yeah, the twins are a little bit hectic in all of my modded playthroughs. Anyways, I crafted a bed to make time pass quicker. Once it was nighttime again, I summoned in and defeated the twins finally, which took me absolutely forever. But look, we got that down and we are now on to Skeletron Prime. And as it turned to nighttime, I decided to go and fight Skeletron Prime, to which I ended up dying to. We got him very close to defeat, but frankly it wasn't enough, so I summoned him in again, buffed up, and defeated him this time. I upgraded to a rocket repeater from the previous weapon that we had, and I got myself many more potions. I went to defeat the destroyer once more, and then I explored all of the skylands to try and find a sky mill. Anyways, we got a sky mill, and then we summoned in the priestess rod. This was a brand new hard mode boss introduced within the mod, and we tried to defeat it using the rocket repeater, but unfortunately we did end up dying to the boss as it was way too difficult for this stage of the game. On our next attempt, we managed to defeat the boss and I got a propeller rapier, which then after I went to go kill Skeletron Prime with. Anyways, now that all three mechanical bosses are down, our jungle grows restless, meaning that we are now on the hunt for Plantera and her lovely bulb. By the way, boyos, if you love Terraria and are looking for brand new unique ways to spice up the experience, I recommend joining my mailing list in the description down below. We send weekly articles on the best Terraria mods you should check out, so if that is something you are interested in, I highly recommend you take a look at it. Second link in the description. Back to the video. I explored the jungle to go and find Plantera's bulb, and I got invaded by the Goblin army again. I fought off the entire Goblin army and then found Plantera's bulb right next to a beehive. I began to clear out the area around the beehive to make an arena in order to fight the, the planty mob, and then I killed the queen bee a few times. I died way too many times while trying to make the arena, and like this was just unacceptable. I kept on dying over and over again. It was absolute hell, but we summoned in and started fighting Plantera. Using the propeller rapier and the rocket repeater with level 4 rockets, we managed to take out Plantera. This weapon is an absolute just menace to every boss that comes our way. I think we actually had level 5 rockets, not level 4, so it was even better. Yeah, but that weapon is just truly a godsend. But now echoes are screaming from the dungeon. Do you know who else is screaming? That is correct. Boio telling you to subscribe to the channel. Ooh, that's a new one. You guys haven't heard that one before, huh? Anyways, after this, I began exploring the lizard temple. I went to go summon a golem and I died a plethora of times because I just was not ready. I got a decent amount of potions and then beat golem, and then I went to go fight golem again. We managed to take him out this time due to our overpowered rockets and the help of potions, and I took his little summon back to spawn. Anyways, after this, I went over to the ocean and explored the brand new biome that was added by the world gen of this mod, which was just like a whole new place under the ocean. So that was pretty neat. And once I actually got further down into the ocean, I got absolutely destroyed by a boss called the Diver. Essentially, there was like a portal to another world that appeared, and as I took that out, a new boss spawned, and I don't really know, but it killed us in like 3 seconds. I got myself an auto hammer, and then I went out to get materials in order to get shroomite armor. So we had to get a bunch of mushrooms and chlorophyte, so that's exactly what I did, and then I went back to explore the abyss. I decided to go and try and fight the lunatic cultist, but for some reason it wouldn't spawn in, so I killed golem a couple more times to see if whether it would work. Still, the lunatic cultist did not spawn, but upon waiting a decent amount of time, he managed to spawn in. We managed to actually fight off an entire solar eclipse throughout this time, and then I tried to get a few more things to get the lunatic cultist to spawn in because he still wasn't spawning in by this point, but after a good while, he did spawn in, and I died while trying to fight the lunatic cultist. We fought the lunatic cultist a few more times, and we died a couple more times, but after our final fight with him, we managed to defeat the lunatic cultist, and then we went to go fight all the pillars. We destroyed the vortex pillar first, then the nebula pillar, and then we took out the stardust pillar. We went to go grind for more money in order to get ammo. Our entire world was basically a graveyard biome, and the only thing we had left now was the solar pillar. We went to go and destroy the final solar pillar, and our screen started shaking. I ran back to my arena and we summoned in the Moon Lord. I didn't have any potions. I don't really know what I was doing at this point, but we got absolutely and utterly destroyed. It was not even funny. I can't even tell you how bad this was. I was completely just we got obliterated. There was no fun whatsoever. Anyways, we fought the Moon Lord a couple more times and we died every single time we did it. We went to go fight off a blood moon and then tried to fight the Moon Lord again, but we died to the Moon Lord again, and it was just a horrific death sentence every single time we tried to summon in the Moon Lord. After this, I decided to go over to the jungle to try and get myself some life fruits because there was literally nothing I can do but just get myself more HP. You know, I could have bought potions, but I wasn't really thinking with my head, was I? Anyways, we got another solar eclipse that spawned in, so that was a little bit of a hassle, and then I died to Moon Lord again. I was trying everything in my power to take this boy out, but he was not going out. Anyways, this is where I decided to re-strategize absolutely everything. At this point, I was trying to play as the ranger class, right? But I thought, hey, melee probably does more damage, so what if I go to melee weapons instead? So that's exactly what I did. I got a bunch of various different weapons. I got myself a golem fist, which I thought would do decent damage against the Moon Lord. I went to the jungle to get chlorophyte. I made turtle armor because the wiki said it was good and it was like pre-Moon Lord, so I was like, hey, it's worth it. I got myself full life fruit, and then I took out golem a few more times in order to get myself beetle armor. This is prime time. I summoned in the Moon Lord using the propeller rapier and the golem fist. We actually managed to deal decent damage to Moon Lord, and once we had beetle armor and like full HP, we dealt just a crazy amount of damage, and we managed to take out the right hand, then the left hand. We took out his eyeball, we took out his core, and we managed to finish off the Moon Lord. Consider checking out another video like this on screen. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Check out all my socials. This has been Boio. Peace out.